Hello again and welcome back to another one, and today we have a couple of topics to run through, and as always, hit the subscribe button if you're new here, turn on notifications, and find me on social media at ETLifestyle_web. So we'll start with Joell Ortiz, an elite rapper who was part of the group with Royce, Crook, and Snaky Joe. And in the recent event of Eminem revealing his list of top rappers, Eminem once again dropped a list that didn't include Joell Ortiz, and fans seem to have picked up the pattern and the memes began pouring in again, since Eminem doesn't forget to give props to Royce and Crook. A popular one is this that states, Joell Ortiz listening to Crook's Corner and hearing M only praise Royce and Crook, and these memes have been revived with the latest Eminem list. One that's quite popular at the moment is this one, Joell Ortiz whenever M talks about how dope Royce and Crook are. And as you'd expect, many people have been asking him how he feels about being constantly left out by Eminem. Now, Royce and Crook are probably closer to Eminem, so that could be a contributing factor to why Eminem talks about them more often, and Joell Ortiz looks to have had enough with the memes and replies. He took to Twitter to comment on it and stated, "Please stop telling me that Eminem left me off his GOAT rappers list. That man is 100% entitled to his opinion. That's one hell of a list. If I constructed a list, it'd be on mine, alongside a few of those gentlemen on his list. Love is love." And my guess is that it went beyond the memes for cheap giggles, and some people took things further, like getting offended on his behalf, since you know some people are always looking to start something and cause some drama. That should be left to Joe since he has a podcast to promote, but Joell Ortiz ain't down like that. And one user sums up how Eminem conducts his business. "If he didn't think you were one of the greatest, he wouldn't have signed you. He knows how dope you are, he couldn't name everyone." And most people may not know this, but Eminem looks at talent first over marketability when signing artists, else he would have signed several mumble rappers and Nicki clones at this point. That's the hot thing right now in hip-hop. Another user expands on this. "The fact that people think he doesn't respect you as an MC is laughable. Were you not on his latest album that literally came out in January? SMH. And I get it, some of the memes were funny, but some people will always take things further to start some drama for their own entertainment, and people forget that Eminem didn't even put himself on the list." And we move on to the next point at hand. Eminem's legendary Stan, that is now part of our daily lexicon, has now surpassed 300 million views on this platform for the short version, and including the longer version on Spotify, Stan has now topped 700 million streams, a song from 2000 that predates streaming platforms and transcends generations. Youngsters on social media make one attempt at making fun of Eminem quote-unquote stans, and they get a lecture and a link to the Stan music video for them to educate themselves on the topic. And despite the fact that Stan peaked at number 51 in the United States, it remains one of the most popular songs from the 2000s in the country. And in this case, it's safe to say the Americans were behind the curve, since Stan peaked at number 1 in 12 countries. Next up today is about Complex, and they just pulled a Billboard. And if you don't get the reference, it's because you missed my video where Billboard listed the 50 best albums of 2020 and chose to exclude Eminem's latest album. Now you might say, it's their list and they can do what they want. And that is true, but I'm also allowed to point out something odd about the list. Billboard's list was basically a popularity list. They included the biggest albums to debut in 2020, but chose to exclude one particular album. I mean, what are the odds that in the top 10 biggest openings of 2020, only Eminem's album missed the cut? And now Complex is playing catch up to Billboard, but at least their list is deeper than just popularity, as albums like The Allegory and Lulu made the cut. But then again, when talking about just hip-hop, all the top debuts of 2020 like Dark Lane Tapes by Drake, Funeral by Wayne, High of Life by Future, EA by Uzi and others make the cut, all but Eminem. And we continue to follow the trail of the MSM's attempt at burying Eminem. They want him gone, but they need him to stay at the same time, a paradox I'll expand on in the symbolic killshot video I'm preparing. Lists like this are what contribute to the narrative that Eminem is irrelevant, because readers of these LSM outlets go for months without seeing anything music related for Eminem, and they use this ignorance as points when they clash with fans, and when the facts are dropped, they fall into a state described as cognitive dissonance. It goes from no one listens to Eminem, to no one in the hood listens to Eminem, to none of my friends listen to Eminem, to stats don't mean anything.
Okay.
So we started the discussion with relevance, the facts came out, and now it doesn't mean anything. So that will be all for today. Leave your thoughts below, like and subscribe if you haven't, and see you on the next one.